What are the mysteries of nine? All right, that is the question for today. And that is the question for number 143 on the list of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life. Second to last one here. And we will get into that here in just a minute. First, I just wanted to let you know, if you want to get a little bit background for this video, you can put your name and email address in the comment section to get my free guide to the 144 fractal faculties, which is just a couple sentences on each one, but it helps because you can use it as you follow along on these videos or in independent research and just get a little bit of ability to compare and contrast, refer back, see the whole thing in front of you. And again, that's free. So just put your name and email in the comment section. You can also watch my video on YouTube called Tree of Life and Introduction, which is just a 10-minute video that will also get you up to speed enough to be able to follow along here. And I also have a book out that you can get for $10 if you send it to my Cash App or Venmo, listed in the description. And that book is called The Mass Tree, Reclaiming the Kabbalah from the Cabal. And that's an intro to Tree of Life. So it's about 65 pages. So a little bit of a deeper dive into the subject. All right, now, number 143 here on the tree. Just remember, the tree is more or less a map of our consciousness. Each one of the circles or spheres here is an aspect of our consciousness, or a faculty of our consciousness, or a capability of our consciousness. We have 12 of these that are numbered from 10 all the way to 0, plus the abyss right here. And today, for number 143, we're delving into the 0 aspect here at the very top. The 0, as you may guess, has to do with nothing, nothingness, and it has to do with a lack of something, including a lack of emotion, a lack of experience, and really a lack of even being in the universe. The 0 is not part of the universe. So the all is the one. The one is the whole universe, and it is what's at our deepest center. If we are able to calm down all of the other vibrations, we can tune into this one at the very top of the tree. That is our deepest center, and we can, our higher self. And when we arrive at that higher self, we then can recognize and be hooked up with this grid that enables us to recognize that what's at our higher self is what's at our deepest center is the same as what's at everyone else's deepest center. We're all hooked up, and we're all, not only are we part of the all part of this universe, but we are we're all part of the same. We're all part of the all. We are the all. We are all together. We're all the same. And but then the 0 is not part of that. The 0 is not part of the universe, but it is part of the Creator. So the Creator has an independent existence that we are not privy to. We don't have access to. We have indirect access to it through the Creator, but we don't have any direct access to it. And then also the 0 has to do with things like the rules of the game. Like the rules of the game were already there before this whole drama even started. So this is kind of like the what we're seeing here is kind of like the surface of the creator. And here is like you know, the deepest thoughts of the creator, the mind of the creator, where the rules are contemplated before the final result appears. Now, that's a little bit of a tricky language because time doesn't really exist, so that there's not really any type of before or after. On this level, time doesn't exist. At the 0, 1 level, time comes into being here which is this whole, part is really illusion. And this is the true reality. But so we don't really exactly have a word for it or a concept for it. But this is what was contemplated beforehand. The rules of the game, also like the numbers. The numbers occur here. This is the geometry, and this is the numbers, or the arithmetic and numerology, the rules of arithmetic and numbers. And so those numbers existed. Both of these are obviously perfect. They, the geometry always works. It always checks out. The math always checks out. You don't say 6 plus 7 equals 13, and then 10,000 years later, it's decided that it equals something else. No, it's eternal. It always equals the same. And now there are different games that you can play with the statistics and stuff to spin the numbers and so on. But if you stick with just like the arithmetic, then these are perfect sciences, and they're not only can be positively represented as the creator, but they literally are the creator. The creator is literally the geometrical figures and the numbers. Okay, now we have 12 different faculties of consciousness, of which number 0 is one of them, this nothingness. But we also are talking about the 144 fractal faculties. So to get from 12 to 144, we're taking the tree of life to the second power. So the 12 times 12 is 144. So what we're doing here graphically is we're taking the whole tree, all 12 faculties, and we're shrinking them down to the size of just one sphere and applying it really to each sphere. So we break down this 7th sphere into its 12 parts based on the tree. So there's a mini 10th sphere, a mini 9th sphere, a mini 8th sphere, a mini 7th sphere, and so on, all within the 7th sphere. So you can imagine that there's a mini tree superimposed on the 7th sphere. And the same with each one of the other spheres. There's a mini tree superimposed on the 4th sphere. There's a mini tree superimposed on the 2nd sphere. And there's also a mini tree superimposed on the 0 sphere. The only difference is at the 0 sphere, the mini tree is actually upside down. So, but there's still 12 of them, and so there's 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12, and so on, for a total of 144. So for number 143, what we're really talking about is we're talking about the 0 sphere, and we're talking about the 9th sphere within that greater context of the 0 sphere. So the 9th sphere within the 0 sphere. We remember that the 9th sphere has to do with our domestic consciousness. This is our what we're getting in the home when we're growing up, the first years of our life, where we are highly receptive to all of the influences that are coming in, and we're kind of like a blank slate. And so we're picking up all the influences from our parents and other people that are raising us. And we basically learn to do what they do through this process of imitation and repetition. So we're highly receptive, and then we just kind of stare at our caregivers and we watch what they do, and then we practice what they do. We imitate what they do and we practice what they do until we get it right. And it's can be a very long and painful process, but then once we do that, then we memorize it and it becomes like really part of us. And so that's really kind of the ninth sphere thing. The ninth sphere is also blind, meaning that you can pick up these things even though they are totally wrong. That's where we pick up patterns of abuse and very bad habits from the people that are raising us. And so that's how these abusive behaviors get passed down from one generation to another. We learn them because we're highly receptive, and in that heightened receptivity, we don't have any type of defenses of discernment. Okay, so that ninth sphere is also to be, considered here at number 143. But in addition to that ninth sphere, also the number 9 is also to be considered there. So number 143 is called casting out nines, reps to the nines, and running back 9 lives. Stage number 143 is about harmonics, repetition, and memory utilization. The harmonic rule of 9 is that if the individual numbers within a multi-digit number ultimately add up to 9, then the number itself is divisible by 9, and it has the harmonic vibration of 9. In harmonics, 9 equals 0. So we can cast out 9s as zeros when adding digits. We can use the final sum to categorize all numbers into 9 different groups. The numbers that are classified as 3s, 6s, or 9s are electromagnetic in nature. 9 also allows us to learn, as it is about practicing and repeating until perfect, or at least until mastered. Under the influence of 9, we are in a heightened state of receptivity and are therefore motivated to practice that which we are receptive to. When we practice things, we can actually master them as we consciously memorize until the movements become part of our body memory or unconscious. 9 is also about falling into a state of trance where we can probe our memories to uncover our past lives, at least back 9 lifetimes or so that we are able to live down and eliminate our past life residual karma. This also helps us to understand our current incarnation and perhaps the reasons we chose the parents and environs that we did. We can easily remember the mysteries of 9 by using mnemonic devices, such as casting out 9s, reps to the 9s, and running back 9 lives. Now, that is the number 143, the ninth fractal of the 0 sphere. And you may, if you're maybe older or if you're younger, maybe you don't know this, but to the 9s, you may have heard the term dress to the 9s. To the 9s just means to perfection, or maybe not complete and total perfection, but to the top. So reps to the 9s instead of dressed to the 9s is being used there. And casting out 9s again is that's harmonics. All right, so again, just click or put your name in the comment section with your email, and I'll send you that free copy of the Guide to the 144 Fractal Faculties of the Tree of Life for free. And you can buy my book there. If you send me $10 or more on Cash App or Venmo, you can also just gratuitously donate money to me through those links as well. Otherwise, stay tuned. We'll be wrapping up our whole foundation here on the Tree of Life tomorrow when we do number 144 of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life. And that will be a great thing to finish, because then we'll have our baseline. We'll have our baseline installed, and we'll be able to embark upon all kinds of other subjects that we can learn how to kind of categorize and to prioritize through the tree. And we will learn if we can get the tree kind of in our as this fractal was talking about, if we can kind of master the tree, or at least gain fluency, have some memorization of it, so that it becomes part of our subconscious as well as our conscious minds, then we will find that these other subjects that we're going to be studying are going to be much easier than they would be if we didn't have this background. So that's why I've spent so much time installing this background, because I feel like the subjects that I'm going to be presenting later are kind of too difficult to attack or to handle without having any type of safety net, so to speak. Okay. Otherwise, just stay tuned for future videos of what we're going to get into here, including number 144 tomorrow. Have a great day, and we hope to see you soon.